Okay.
Can you mention one of your values?
One of my values on it? Well, I have several values. One is that every person is created in the image of God and is important. And so that's a key aspect for me personally to be able to look at. So each individual, whether they agree or disagree with you, no matter the color of their skin, their background, their preferences, they're all have inherent value, and that's important to honor people with that.
Can a human being follow a moral principle without ever intentionally violating it?
Now, you're going to have to help with definition on that. What do you mean by that?
Well, can a human being follow a moral principle, whichever it is, without ever intentionally violating it?
Okay, so give me an example of what you mean by that. Because obviously there are a lot of words in there that have a lot of meaning to
Well,
that.
any principle that you hold, any moral principle. Are human beings capable of following moral principles without ever intentionally violating them?
Yes, you can make a decision. Every decision that you make to break your own morals is a decision that you make on that. You're making choices as you go through life. I come from a biblical principle. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 says, "No temptation seizes you except what is common to man. As God is faithful, He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear." And so there's a decision that you make with that.
So you would say that human beings are capable of following moral principles without ever intentionally violating them?
Well, you're going to have to help me because it looks like you're trying to trap me in a question. So I'm just trying to figure out where you're headed with this. I don't particularly like being trapped in a question. You're framing this in something, and I'm trying to figure out where you're going.
Well, it's about about your view on human nature. Are human beings capable of following a moral principle or not capable? What is it that you want me to clarify?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. This is an unusual set of philosophical questions. You're going, obviously, with a lot of different interpretations of that. So for me, I'm trying to figure out where this fits in the context of what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, any moral principle, say, love thy neighbor as thyself.
Sure.
Is that one of your moral principles?
It is.
Do you follow that one without ever intentionally violating it?
You know what? I'm a sinful human being like everyone else, and I do have times that I struggle with that and everything else.
So you think that a human being cannot follow a moral principle without ever intentionally violating it?
It's not true. I do believe under the leadership of the Holy Spirit that an individual with a heart can follow after those moral principles.
So why don't you follow it if it's possible to follow it?
Because I'm also a sinful human being that makes mistakes, just like you.
Yeah, but I mean intentionally violate it, not by accident. Why would what's the purpose of a moral principle if it isn't to give you guidance? Why not follow it?
It is to give you guidance, but that doesn't mean you're perfect. That doesn't mean an individual does everything perfect every time.
So you think that human beings are not capable of following a moral principle without ever intentionally violating it?
I think they are capable of doing that. I think we choose not to at times. And I think those are decisions that we make based on either our emotions or our response or whatever that may be.
I'm trying to understand why.
I'm sorry, I've got to go. I was telling you I had to walk and talk because that vote's
let's
at 11:15.